Yeah, I mean, it was a good week last week. We got back from Florida and had a little bit of a short week to prepare, and I think that played a little bit to our advantage. We didn't have a whole lot of time to think about the Florida trip, and we just came out and we played. Um, the guys did a really nice job sharing the ball and running hard and getting up and down the field, and just playing a little bit more of some of their better lacrosse that they've done this season. Uh, Obviously, Jack had a really great game, setting some program records. But Ryder and the defense did a really nice job on the defensive end as well, keeping them at bay and not really letting them get too close to the net too often. And then, obviously opening RMAC play this week. Westminster's always been a challenging opponent for us. In the last year, we played 3 times and played 3 one-goal games, and we were fortunate enough to get the victory in all 3 of those games. So we know we're going to get a really quality opponent that's going to be excited to play at home for them in the first time in a long time for them. I think 2 weeks since they've played a home game. And we typically play pretty well in Salt Lake City, so I think we're excited to get on the road and get up there and play on Saturday.
Open it up for questions.
Yeah, Coach, last week, coming off of a couple of losses, was it more of like a statement game? It's like, listen, we need to win this by a good margin to get back on the right track.
Yeah, I mean, sure, statement or maybe just to feel good about ourselves a little bit. First time our program since I've been here, this deep into the season hasn't been ahead in the win-loss column. And so more than anything, we didn't really talk a whole lot about game planning. We just talked about fundamentals, and we're continuing to harp on that in practice. Just having these guys try to recognize that the fundamentals of what have kept us this season from being as successful as we want to be. And so, if it seemed like a statement game, sure, you feel bad for Notre Dame de Namur, putting up that many points against a team like that. But, it's also collegiate athletics, and their job's to stop our team. And, I wasn't going to hold our guys back from being aggressive and having an aggressive approach in the game on Wednesday.
Jack, how important was it just to kind of get some confidence going again after the trip to Florida? Because you guys have, usually have played pretty well against the Florida teams.
I think it was an important thing to get going, just to show everybody that we can do this, we can score a lot of goals, and it doesn't have to be against necessarily NDNU or guys like that. It could be any team. I mean, once we can run up and score on anyone.
Did you have any idea the numbers you were putting up?
I lost track at one point, but I mean, it's not really about that. Just out there running around, going hard.
Right, did you just kind of relax in that game and just, hey, let's just go play and have a little fun? And
Yeah, I think defensively we get a lot of confidence when the offense is scoring and kind of rolling, and we typically play better. I don't think that we played as well as we would have liked to defensively. Obviously, we've let in, I think, 6 or 7. And it's nice to see the offense get going, and that definitely boosts us. And then our job is just to stop them from doing it, as opposed to trying to get the ball going the other way, maybe for a couple more opportunities. So.
Coach, being here for so long and Jack breaking so many records, is that one of the best offensive performances you've seen while being a coach here?
Oh, yeah, by far. I mean, I think the previous record holder was Steve Bradenberg, and, I remember the game that Steve scored 8 goals, and I think that was actually against Rockhurst in a little bit more of a close game, a little tightly contested game. I just have never been a part of a game where a player has had the opportunity to shoot the ball so many times from such an effective distance, but then also it wasn't just about Jack shooting the ball 14 times and scoring 10 goals. It was the fact that he shared the ball. If you watch the game, it wasn't a situation where Jack was selfish by any means. He hit the nail on the head. We talk about that a ton, just running hard. And that's the one thing that, anyone who's ever been a part of our program with Jack around would say about Jack, is that he's constantly the guy who every day, practice, game, weight room, whatever it is, he's always running and going hard. And I think sometimes, as Patty alluded to, the thought process gets too heavy into it, and the defense and the offense were able just to relax a little bit. And when you watch a guy who runs hard all the time, it's easy just to feed off of that energy and that momentum that he generates. but yeah, absolutely one of the best performances that I've ever seen.
Jack, oh, sorry, go ahead.
You kind of dominated the RMAC the last, couple of years and trying to obviously keep that going. Now that conference is finally here, it seems like, you guys are the only ones who are halfway through your conference season right now.
Yeah, and I think, the really difficult thing about this season was that we really created a schedule in the first half of the year that was our national season. And we've been talking a lot about it as a team since we got back from Florida. Okay, national season's over. Now we need to focus on our conference season. And, you used the term dominated. I struggle to say that against Westminster, although we have won, 3 consecutive championships. They're very talented, and been watching film early this week trying to get prepared for them, and they do a lot of things really well. And, the teams that we've lost to, the Tampa, Florida Southern game, the Rollin games, they played all 3 of those opponents in a more tightly contest than we did. And so for me to sit here and feel like we're going to just kind of show up and win isn't necessarily what I want these guys to walk away with as a program. We've got to bring our best efforts for the next 5 weeks. Obviously, yes, in the past we've done a really great job. And sitting in these meetings earlier in the season, I even alluded to that this team's a little bit different than in years past. So I don't know what our makeup of our program is going to be in the RMAC contest that we have this year. And so I would like to think that, sure, we're going to show up and we're going to play our best efforts. We have nothing else to worry about, no national tournament implications to worry about. This is all really about pride now at this point, playing for the guys who came before us wearing this jersey and playing for the guys that are yet to come that are going to wear this jersey. And I know both these guys as seniors want to leave this program in a better place than they found it. And for us this season, that would be to win a 4th, regular season tournament title, and then as well as a regular season title as well as a tournament title. And I think both these guys are really just hungry. It's part of the reason why I invited these 2 guys here today, is because they've just had a little bit more focus as guys heading out, that they want to finish this thing off on the right foot. I know they want to finish on an upward trajectory versus where we've been going in the past couple weeks.
What's the relationship when you play a team like Westminster? Do you like them? Is it get chippy? What's the game kind of about?
It depends really. If the game is staying close, it can get a little chippy. They'll stay tight on you and stuff. But in seasons past, we've kind of ran away with the points, gone up on them a bit, and the game definitely relaxes it a little bit. They've rolled over a little bit, but like Coach was saying, this is a different team, and I don't expect them to do that at all this year. So we got to come ready to fight.